The American Civil War 1861 to 1865 was one of the most defining events in U.S. history, shaping the nation's future and its identity. While the war was complex, its causes can be largely attributed to three major factors: slavery, states' rights, and economic differences. Slavery, the central issue. Slavery was the most significant and contentious issue dividing the North and the South. The Southern economy relied heavily on slave labor for its agricultural industries, particularly in cotton and tobacco plantations. Meanwhile, the North, driven by industrialization and a growing abolitionist movement, opposed the expansion of slavery into new territories. The passage of laws such as the Fugitive Slave Act and the Kansas-Nebraska Act, as well as events like the Dred Scott decision and John Brown's raid, further inflamed tensions. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860, who was seen as an opponent of slavery's expansion, was the final trigger that led Southern states to secede from the Union. States' rights, a fight for sovereignty. Another major cause of the Civil War was the debate over states' rights versus federal authority. Southern states argued that they had the right to govern themselves and make decisions, including the legality of slavery, without interference from the federal government. The North, on the other hand, believed that a strong central government was necessary to maintain national unity. This fundamental disagreement led to secession, as Southern states felt their autonomy was threatened. Economic differences: industrial North versus agricultural South. The economic divide between the North and the South also played a significant role. The North had developed into an industrial economy with factories, railroads, and wage labor, while the South remained primarily agrarian, dependent on slavery. This economic disparity led to conflicts over tariffs and trade policies, with the South opposing high tariffs that benefited Northern manufacturers but hurt Southern trade. The growing economic power of the North further alienated the South, making compromise increasingly difficult. Conclusion: the American Civil War was the result of deep-seated divisions that had been building for decades. Slavery was the root cause, exacerbated by disputes over states' rights and economic differences. Ultimately, these conflicts made war inevitable, leading to a bloody struggle that would redefine the United States and pave the way for a new era of freedom and unity.